Hey, what's up, guys? Finally, I'm back. It's been a long time, I think almost like 2 months now. Right before we get into the video, though, you might notice my new intro um, at the start. Shout out to my friend Heavenly. I'll put her Instagram up here. She did my old intro, and then I asked her, since I was going to be making like a mini comeback, I asked her to do a new one for me. So, shout out to her. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first thing I did here was I put down a base color. I chose to use red. Then I'm going to start mapping out the shape of the head, and it's very generalized at first. I'm going to start putting in these construction lines, as you can see here. And what these do are they just kind of give me an idea of the nose, mouth, and eyes, just, the most important landmarks of the face. And as you can see, the middle line in there, the middle construction line, is the base of the nose. And with that, I'm going to build the rest of the face from there. I can map out how far apart that is from the eyes and how wide the eyes are, and also including how wide the mouth is just from that. Then, as you can see, I go back in and kind of get more defined and specific with the contour of the face. Then I decide to go to my other pastels and start mapping in color. The black of the shirt, the flannel that he was wearing in the reference photo was kind of a pinkish color. I didn't really have pink, so I just kind of improvised. But yeah, now I'm just going back in with the red, and I'm starting to, draw the forms of the face. You see the eyes, the mouth, the lips. And of course, this is not getting any kind of detail at all or anything. This is just, like I said, landmarking and just kind of something to build upon. And here's where I start to lay in the mid-tone of the face. I'd recommend starting with that so that you can then push in shadows, pull out highlights instead of trying to work backwards. But yeah, just finishing, putting in some colors. I started trying to get, the darks here. As you can see, I'm going to a darker brown for the eye socket, the side of the face, up by his hair and down by his jaw, under the lips, under the nose. Just any areas of the face that are going to be pushed in and that are going to be going away from the light are going to be darker. And then I will go back in with a darker brownish kind of gray color. Something important to remember for anyone who's new to painting or any kind of color you're using is to remember that shadows have color. They're not just black, they're not just gray, and also highlights are not just white. If you do that, which is natural because that's just kind of how we see things, that can really flatten out your piece, and instead of adding depth, it'll just kind of make it look more two-dimensional. But yeah, here I'm going back in with highlights, and I started out with the highlights using a tannish kind of gray color. It looks more gray, especially beside like these brown tones. And then later in the video, you'll see me go back in with a yellow and kind of really bring that highlight more life. And then I'm starting to here lay in the tones and the color in his hair. Obviously, with the top of the hair being closer to the light, it's going to get lighter as it goes. And then for the shirt here, I'm trying to make a purplish kind of pink color, and I'm not relying too much, as you can see, on line. I'm thinking more about how these colors will mix together, and I'm trusting myself to be able to create colors that I don't already have as far as what comes in the pastel set. And then going against my own advice, you see me using gray here just to kind of, this is more just a placeholder for the highlights, just so that I can really remember where they are. And like I said, I will address them again later in the piece. And then I go back in here to the eyes a little bit. And another tip is that the inside of your eyes are not just straight up white. Um, the more color you can add to them, the better. And once again, just kind of a trick that the human eye sees, and um, it's pretty apparent that if you ever see art where people use just straight up white for the insides of the eyes, it creates a very animated, cartoonish kind of look. And if you're going for realism, or if you're trying to get close to any reference that you're using, I think just using straight up white is the last thing you want to do. I'm pretty satisfied at this point with the tones I was able to find in the face. I think I found a lot of color. So here with the hair, I just kind of wanted to create a gradient. As you can see, light closest to the skin, where the hair is more dense, light as it frays and gets closer to the light up top. And now I'll dress the shirt. And I think with the shirt, the important thing was also not being too loyal to the reference, because like I said, it was kind of a pinkish flannel that he was wearing, and as you can see, it definitely didn't turn out pink. But I decided to go for a more purplish, reddish, bluish kind of thing, and just see where it took me. And I ended up being really happy with the colors I was able to find in that. And then I go back in with the hair here, just add a little bit of detail. And last but not least, I'm just giving this kind of a bold outline to really accentuate that redness. I take a little piece of paper towel, soften the edges up, hit the highlights with yellow one more time, and then there we have it, the final piece. So thank you guys for watching. I'm hoping to do one of these every week, and I will see you next time.